Namaskar, I'm Ashok Vyas, and we all want to be happy. And many times we hear that meditation is one way to connect to that aspect of our being which is full of inexhaustible happiness. But let's move beyond happiness in the sense that many times we want some decisions to be made in our lives, and if practice of meditation is somewhere conducive in unfolding that which we long for, or let me bring the word clarity. So how the miracle of meditation has worked in a friend's life in helping him arrive at a sense of clarity. We have the pleasure of welcoming Parveen Chopra ji, who is founder of a Lotus in the Mud, very well known, with his long time services as editor of the South Asian Times and whatnot. So, Parveen ji, with claps, I welcome you. Uh,
Thank you
as
for
I was
having me.
talking to you earlier, there has been some twists and turns in your life, and somewhere at the center was your practice of meditation. So let's go back to the young Parveen Chopra when he started learning or practicing meditation. How all that unfolded.
Right. Uh, I grew up in a normal Hindu family, uh, going to temple, reciting artis, puja, all that. In my teenage, I somehow, you go to college and you study science, and then what is this Ram and Krishna and all that? So I, in a way, lost faith for some years. And I also, along the way, messed up my life in the sense that I messed up my educational career. And I was working in a hotel um, in the service department, food department. I didn't know where I'm going, what I'll be doing. And then I saw an ad in Delhi in Hindustan Times saying that there's a teacher training course, non-residential in Delhi, and after that they promise you a job. I said, wonderful. That's a way for me to get out of this sordid hotel life. So I applied and I joined. And when I learned meditation, oh my God, I said, there is something to it. I was, the phrase is throwing the baby with the bath water. So maybe the rituals I didn't understand or like, but there is something to Hindu, Indian spirituality. So I had wonderful experiences. So I quit my job in the hotel and I became a teacher. And then I taught meditation for
Okay,
4 years.
there are some important steps that I want you to cover. So, how was it when you were introduced to meditation? There were some techniques that they were following, and what was your first sense of aha moment with your practice of meditation?
Right. The technique that I learned, it's called transcendental meditation, in short, TM. In the 70s, 80s, it was very popular all over the world. The
Harshima,
movement was started by Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, and he comes from the Shankaracharya tradition, all the way to Adi Shankara. He was a follower of direct disciple of Swami Vishnu Devanand of Jyotirmath near Badrinath. And so that meditation is very simple. And somebody like me, very rational, scientific, non-believer, I could do it, and I liked it because they didn't tell you to believe in God or in meditation or in their tradition or anything. You just try the technique, practice it, and it gave benefits. It immediately it brought some relief in the sense of less tension and clarity and a sense of purpose. So that moment that changed my life entirely, the trajectory of my life, in the sense that I kept coming back to meditation. There was some periods that I got strayed, but I kept coming back to meditation. And not only that, it gave me a path, a career path, in the sense that, of course, I did journalism, became a journalist, and worked in Indian newspaper industry for some years. But then I thought, okay, I should be doing something more worthwhile for society, for humanity. So I started a spiritual magazine called Life Positive in India. And every time, even after coming to America, I worked for an Indian newspaper called the South Asian Times as editor. But then again, during COVID, I said, no, I should be doing something. Something that I know is worthwhile doing, which is meditation and spreading the message of meditation and spirituality. So I started at lotusinthemud.com. This is my life story.
So let's track back. We'll come to the lotus in the mud later. But coming back to one reference which you made, that to meditate, it is not necessary to believe in God. So again, God word or Ishwar or Prabhu or whichever way we refer to, um, it may have different meaning for different individuals. But just to understand, in my mind, meditation is elevating your level of consciousness and resonating with the ultimate. So when I say the ultimate, that is God for me. So in your case, when you started practicing meditation, and and as an outsider, like someone who doesn't meditate, I would say that you are consciously making the flow of your concentration or your awareness on one point or so. What is meditation for you, and how do you distinguish that non-believer meditating and a believer meditating, and what is? Let's learn a little bit more about this space.
Right. In fact, Hinduism, Sanatan Dharma, will say that what's it called, pratyaksh praman, that you do something and you should have the benefit or the experience yourself, not not having to believe there. Whatever you do there, there's a consequent benefit and effect. Meditation for me, they many definitions. For me, the definition I like is from Yoga Sutras, Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, called Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Simple. Uh, God doesn't come in here. Yoga, or that union, is elimination of the tendencies of the mind, the fluctuations of the mind. That is meditation. And transcendental meditation, you take a mantra called a bij mantra, and then you recite it mentally with closed eyes, and gradually the mental activity reduces, and so on. So you do have that experience where thoughts disappear, the mantra disappears. You can call it a godly experience, divine experience, or touching some source of source. It's called Satchidanand within. I don't know about the God outside, but maybe there is a God within, and that meditate with meditation you can experience that. You can move towards that. That is meditation for me.
Yeah. Okay. So just to add my two two cents, when you say that there is God within, and so ultimately, as per my limited understanding from what we gather through shastras, that difference between outside and inside is illusion. So when I say when I say this, so the all the five elements that are there and what you have as man, buddhi, ahankar, etc., they all are sort of part of the same package, so to say, with difference in the appearance or whatever. But let's stay with you with reference to meditation, and let's not get entangled in whether you believe or you don't believe. But there is a sense of stillness, and as you very very rightly pointed out, Patanjali Yoga Sutra and Chitta Vritti Nirodha, or
Yes. Yoga Chitta
how do
Vritti
you
Nirodha.
attain that? How do you attain that? Because many scientists would tell you that on an average, the number of thoughts that we produce, or someone who is not aware, he might be producing n number of thoughts in any given minute or something. So, and that is a natural way for us to to think or observe that thoughts are coming. So what were you doing which would help you in getting to the point beyond thoughts?
Yeah, I'll come to this point in a moment. First, the God inside and outside. Um, in Sanatana Dharma, Vedic wisdom, there are Mahavakyas. Okay, the first one is Aham Brahmasmi. I am that. And then couple of more, and the ultimate one is Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. All that is there. The entire creation, Kainat, is also that. Uh, but what I was told, Aham Brahmasmi is the first stage of enlightenment. Of course, I'm nowhere close to that. That is the first stage of enlightenment where you realize that you are that. And then with more practice, with more spiritual evolution, you realize that all that is there is also that. So you are right. There is union between what is inside and what is outside.
So
Now,
anyway, let me take the liberty of staying here. So as per Vedanta, when we say what is God, so there is nothing other than God. I mean, so there again you reach to that stage where you realize it, and they say it is Brahman. So Brahma, you are Brahma, I am Brahma, whosoever is listening, the power that enables anybody to listen. So we have that sort of concept. And I'm tempted also because I was doing the Bhagavad Gita, and there is this shloka in the seventh chapter where Lord Krishna says, Bhumi Rapo Nalo Vayu Kham Mano Buddhi Revacha. Ahankara iti amme bhinna prakriti rashtada. So basically, he has referred to all these five elements. That's why I was saying that is starting from space to uh, air to fire to water to earth, and mind, intellect, as well as ego. So all that is a part of his prakriti. So that is why I was saying it is the one and the same continuum. uh,
absolutely.
Whichever way one approaches to the sense of stillness, which you referred with the Patanjali Yoga Sutra, or whether Swami Vivekananda talked about Raj Yoga and helped. But uh, staying with the practice of meditation, the way you are mentioning it, I assume that it requires you to follow certain purity in your conduct. What kind of food you eat would affect whether you are good for meditating, the kind of thoughts that you produce, and whether you have a lot of anger and envy, etc. So talk to me about that aspect
Yes,
also.
yes, yes, yes. Um, it's a little controversial point in the sense that not everybody agrees to it. But again, going back to Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, there are, it's called Ashtanga Yoga. Okay. Ashta is eight and Ang is limbs. And they are Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam,
Pranayam,
Pratyahar, Dharana,
dharana,
Dhyan,
dhyan, samadhi.
Samadhi. Now, some people assumed that it is a step ladder. That first you master the yamas, niyamas, and then and so on, and asanas, and only then you are eligible to do meditation. Mahesh Yogi and many modern gurus say no, you can start meditation and other things will follow. But from my experience, I can say that along with meditation and yoga asanas, if you also follows yama niyamas, meaning all the virtues, doing the right thing, it helps. Um, I had a very strange experience of teaching meditation that people who were already very well settled in life, comparatively all everything is fine, family life and work life and money and everything, they had better experiences, deeper experiences of meditation, because they could follow some of the other things, or maybe they were already following. But people who are struggling and trying to make money and make ends meet and so on are more stressed, they should actually also benefit. But people who already, so yama niyamas, all these things help. uh, but coming back to the practice of meditation, because I've done it for so many years and taught it also. Um, there is a misconception with people who don't meditate that it means concentration. It is not. Concentration is very hard, at least initially, to achieve. Meditation, at least in transcendental meditation movement which I was in, we define it as gradual reduction of mental activity. That's all. Meditation is धीरे धीरे अपने जो विचार आ रहे हैं उनको कम करते जाना, कम करते जाना. Now how does that happen? It does not happen intentionally. You cannot will it. Just like if some night you're not able to sleep and you try hard to sleep, it doesn't come easily. Sleep just comes every night we sleep. So in meditation also, in this particular technique we follow that technique. That technique is starting with a mantra. That mantra is actually in TM they say don't bother about the meaning of that, but they are bija mantras related to goddesses or
So they
gods.
ask you to keep them sacred,
Yes,
secret, or
secret. Yes,
and is there a specific mantra for a specific individual, or it is the common?
yes. We, part of the teacher training course was to how to select the mantra. I can reveal this much that there are different ones for women and different ones for men, different ones for children below 18, and different ones if you believe in a particular god or goddess, Hindu deity, then the mantra could be related to that deity. And for people like me who didn't have any deity or god or goddess, there are also those mantras, bija mantras, but not om. Somehow they
I
can
was
be a
I was
couple.
just thinking about home when you said, yeah,
Yes, yes.
obviously.
That's there's a I don't know, but they said, at least in this TM movement, they said that Om mantra is more for renunciates, for householders, not a good mantra. Of course, it is the most powerful mantra, comes from Hinduism, Maha mantra, but for some reason they said no. So similar sounds. So in fact, then they said in TM that actually the meaning is not important. The sound quality is such that it facilitates the incoming, going in your reducing the thoughts and going in gradually, softly, easily, without any pressure, without any concentration or effort. And gradually a time comes when the mantra, that mantra is only a vehicle to go within. Mantra disappears, thought disappear, and there are those moments when you are, you can call it samadhi, pure consciousness or whatever. And the wonderful beautiful thing was that in the very few first few sittings, most people I initiated taught meditation, they could have that experience of complete stillness. The other thing I would want to say in this respect is that this is a mantra meditation, but meditation can be, other meditations are also as good. Something simple that anybody can learn is anapanasati, which is from Buddhism. Alternate wait no watching the breath. uh, in pranayam also, in a way you are watching the breath, but in anapanasati, which is the first stage that teach in vipassana 10-day courses, is you just watch your breath, nothing else. And it cannot be religious, it is not Buddhist or Hindu or whatever. This is your breath, this is your system that you are manipulating and using, and so on. So that is one simple technique. And I mentioned that because in America, in the Western world, in the 60s, 70s, 80s, TM was the most popular. But in the last few years, there are many other systems and techniques, Sri Ravi Shankar's Art of Living, which I think is more breath related. But here in America, they talk more about mindfulness meditation. Mindful, I try to research what is mindful. I've not done it or learned it. Mindful meditation mainly is this watching the breath, and also trying to be aware of whatever is happening. There's that book, Power of Now. Just be in the now, just be completely present in whatever is happening, and that is also mindful meditation. And it is so popular that in hospitals, psychiatrists will prescribe it for people, and so on. So there are many, many
Allow
techniques
me to
variation.
think loudly with you. When you were mentioning about Patanjali Yoga Sutra and chitta vritti reduction, or reducing the number of thoughts that are being produced, and when we refer to the power of now, they somewhere lead to the same space where you will only be present fully if you are not distracted to the past, or you are not going to the future. So you are present, and that is what is the chitta vritti nirodha also. So
Absolutely,
somewhere I think they lead to the same common space, and that is the consciousness. And
absolutely, absolutely. But let me warn you, from my experience of teaching meditation, just like in any other self improvement system, whether it is exercise or yoga or whatever, the dropout rate was very high. Um, I don't know, maybe 1% of the people I taught meditation to would have continued. I don't know how I have stuck onto it. I still do. And so it is not just.
how many minutes you practice
Yes,
meditation every day?
right. In transcendental meditation, they suggest 20 minutes morning and 20 minutes evening. And not only this meditation, I think for every meditation, you should do it before meals on a comparatively empty stomach, and and not set an alarm. And you should not, if you want to meditate for 20 minutes, allow at least half an hour so that you're not rushed out of it. And it's
Let,
better
let me
to
let me just mention, as I'm reminded, there is one app, and there must be many. Of course, there must be one with the Art of Living also, but there is one by Sadhguru, wherein you can set the time, how many minutes meditation, and it is a guided meditation basically. So 7 minutes or something like that. And that was downloaded very big number, which means people are interested in finding a way to get to a sense of silence or stillness. So I think that is the way, moving forward for harmony and peace, and going beyond stress, as well as bringing out your creativity more. Um, so allow me to ask you one question. So
No,
when
wait. You mentioned guided meditation. I'll come ask you to ask the question. Guided meditation is an interesting aspect also. If you can't meditate yourself, put a tape on, put a Sadguru or whatever guided meditation tape on, and you can have that experience. I suggest one particular guided meditation I've benefited extremely from, and that's a sure short thing to give you complete relaxation, and that's called Yoga Nidra.
yes,
Yoga Nidra, some people may or may not know, was reinvented by Bihar School of Yoga, Swami Satyananda, I think, Swami
yeah,
Satyananda
I think
Saraswati.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi also mentioned about it, and he shared link to his uh, video uh, in his tweet or somewhere. I think.
Right. Bihar School of Yoga, one, but
Okay, so allow me also to. I'm just reminded that when Indo-U.S. relations were good, and daughter of President Trump in 1.0 presidency, she was in India, and I think he shared with her also, and she also tweeted that she's benefited by this practice. Well, it was
Yoga
long ago.
Nidra.
Yeah.
So Yoga Nidra started from there, maybe I think 30, 40 years ago, only 40 years ago, and it's very popular all over the world. In America now, there are teacher training courses, how to teach Yoga Nidra, how to practice, and so on. So Yoga Nidra, wonderful. Nidra itself means sleep, and it's a yogic sleep, and 100% it takes you to a very quiet place. Just about 20-minute, 30-minute
Yeah,
meditation.
I think I will also vouch for that, because I've also practiced it once in a while, not always, but very quickly. The concluding question that I had was the transition, for you being a practitioner to being a teacher. How was that, and wasn't there a kick when you were enabling others to get to that level of consciousness?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, the my experience was also of teaching meditation that most people, no matter how intellectual, how highly placed in society or well educated or rich, people have no idea about what is possible. Um, and another thing, I this is my own thinking, that somehow we all have regular lives, and there is some search for an altered state of consciousness. In the Western world, during the hippie period, the drugs and everything, what was that? People wanted to get away from this mundane life and have a experience of altered states of consciousness. um,
You had you had such experience which is extraordinary.
Yes, occasionally, a very blissful experience. Yes, but what I was saying is that meditation also gives you altered states of experience of altered state of consciousness, and this is there are no side effects with drugs. You
Yeah,
don't know what
absolutely.
kind of side effect there will be. It messes up the nervous system. Meditation harmonizes the nervous system, and the beauty of it is that more you practice, longer you have been practicing, it becomes easier, and every time there's a deeper experience. From my experience, I'll tell you from my personal. Now that I meditate, it's not 20 minutes at all. It extends to 45 minutes, sometimes an hour, and you feel like sitting for meditation. That is the beauty. After I have not attained any higher states of consciousness or
No, you
whatever.
did attend. You did attend. I must say that, and you are not disclosing it, and that is quite all right. So I want to thank you on the excuse of this 21st December being observed as World Meditation Day. I got the opportunity of having this valuable conversation with you, with lots and lots of good wishes, and hope we'll have more sessions where we get into that wealth of knowledge which you have accumulated all these periods through your meditation. So, thank you very much, founder of Lotus in the Mud, Parveen Chopra ji, with me. Thanks to all of you for joining us. Namaste.
Thank you. And also, I want to say that for World Meditation Day, which is December 21st, which happens to be my birthday,
Oh, wow.
on
Great.
Lotus, we are also doing quite a few special articles. So look out for that. The website address, web magazine address is
We were saying that.
ALotusInTheMud.com. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
Thank
Ashok.
you. Thank you. Bye.